okuwashiadio egumu watubwenumo amandianeze.
Welcome everyone, viewers across the world, lovers of freedom and fellow Biafrans. I thank you for being part of this platform. Thank you for joining us on this very program. Please kindly like and share to all platforms, share to family and friends, share to those that are close to you to get the update that is coming from our platform. Our duty here is to present information the way it is. We don't try to be politically correct. We say things and we bring information even from their own conventional media. I want you to pay attention to this video that I'm about to share with you. We are going to watch it together. At the end of this day, we will go and give our comment on the comment section. Let us pay attention to every single information that is coming. You'll be glad you did. Let's watch it together. Thank you, and let's watch.
I'm joined now in the studio by the farmer, politician, NNPP chieftain, and member of the party's Board of Trustees, Buba Galadima. Thank you very much indeed for coming in.
Thank you very much, Mr. Charles, for welcoming me back on this seat.
Back to a place that we love to have you in.
Thank you.
What do you think is the main reason behind the government's failure to prevent these abductions in particular and worsening insecurity in general? What are the questions that still need answers for you about this?
Well, for me, the government has abdicated in its primary responsibility of protecting and saving lives and properties of citizens, and has given 99% of its time to politicking. And governance, especially in a country like Nigeria, is a serious business. It is not how to make money, but how much sacrifice would the leaders make on behalf of the people. If you are a Nigerian president, or a governor, or even chairman of council, you shouldn't have more than 6 hours for leisure. The remaining must be hands on the wheels. That we are not seeing. This government is only concerned about receiving the campees or trying to destroy opposition political parties. And I want to tell them, for the world to know, that it is not in their interest to destroy opposition, because without opposition, there is no democracy. And if there is no democracy, it means we are sliding to fascism, dictatorship of the Mussolini type. And this is exactly where they are taking us to. And in fact, I want to advise right from the start that it is not even in the interest of the ordinary APC man not to have an opposition. Because if there is no opposition, he doesn't matter to those in authority. So even the APC people should try to protect opposition so that they become relevant in their own party.
Well, what specific actions do you think the APC government should take to address these, for instance, mass abductions of students in Niger State and other parts of the north?
Let me tell you, it still boils back to what I have said. Those in authority must put up their thinking cap and do the needful. They have tried this garagara, as I would want to call it. It did not work. So it is now time to use their intellect, use technology, and protect our citizens. I want to tell you something that had happened in China. Some people sat at the airport. When their lounge, when their flight was called, somebody forgot his bag, small bag, and went to board the aircraft. They asked him for his boarding pass. He looked. The small bag was not there. So he rushed and reported. And the police said, don't matter, don't worry, just go. So they put their cameras and discovered who picked that bag containing, in fact, the man is a Cameroonian, containing $11,000. And they followed him, the camera followed him to the aircraft where he boarded and took off. By the time he arrived at the next station, security people were waiting for him at the ladder of the aircraft.
And you don't want to be caught by the Chinese, do you?
And they just asked him,
hand it over.
and the man who left gave them the address where he was going, dropped the address, and in the morning, here was his bag at his.
So that illustrates the point you're making about using
Seriousness,
technology and being serious.
Of course, we are not serious.
So
we are only interested in power to make money or to show you that I have arrived.
But when you say we, I mean, that implies that you, as a member of the opposition, is also, and somebody who's been in ruling parties before, I mean, that you're part of the whole sort of mix. I mean, how would you have addressed it if you were in power? What specific measures would you take differently from what the government is doing?
In the first place, because I cannot make that sacrifice of 18 hours per day for you. That is why I am neither electable nor appointable.
Yeah, but you're in a party where you were campaigning for the party to go into power.
Yes, because I thought that I can have the authority or the influence to dictate how things should be done.
Because you helped Buhari get into power.
And when he said we cannot
and you
participate,
tried to help Kwankwasa to get into power.
Of course, I assumed Buhari could do it. When he got there, I discovered that he was also one of them.
So he let you down.
Of course he did. And you know that for sure. And I didn't hide it while he was on that seat.
Yeah, that is true.
So, for us in Nigeria, the president should forget about physical security. We've passed that stage. We have to use technology to detect things even before they happen, and set up special squads to deal with the issues as they spring up in the next 5 minutes. These people who are left Kontagora for Niger, and somebody was capturing them verbatim around 5-6 that they were going towards Yauri or Ngaski.
And that's intelligence, isn't it? That could have been provided intelligence.
Yes, that the security should move quickly, that they may attack either the town or schools. Unfortunately, they just wavered small and attacked the Maga school. And why? How can somebody not tell us anything? There were security people and soldiers in that school. Why did they leave the place? They should be court-martialed and be shot.
Absolutely. But according to Bayo Onanuga, who was sitting here just a minute, you said some people have already been arrested. But what role do you think schools and educational institutions should play in preventing or mitigating such abductions? I mean, what I'm trying to get to is, how do you balance the need for security, for example, with the need for access to education in vulnerable areas?
In the first place, it is shameful to close down the schools. Shameful on government and on authorities at every level. You can't close down schools. What you should do is, how can you protect the schools?
But obviously they don't have a plan for how to do that. So what they have to do.
Then we get what we don't want.
Yeah, but that's what we're getting. I mean, what they have to do in the circumstances is to take the most extreme action possible in order to prevent the possibility of another such attack. And that's why they're closing the schools.
I'm sorry that I had come here to discuss the truth, but not politics.
You don't
but
have
let
to
me
be sorry.
digress. Let me digress small. During Jonathan's birthday, is it Friday or Thursday? I mean, Thursday or Wednesday, I spoke to journalists.
Yes, I think I saw that clip.
I spoke to journalists, and I said something. Me that speak to you, seated here, was one of the greatest critics of Jonathan's presidency and the way at that time he handled matters. I didn't know that God will disgrace me to show me that Jonathan was even a saint and a better administrator than those that follow him. First, as a third world leader, the insecurity reached its highest level some few days to election. And Jonathan suspended the election, put off the election, and took another 6 weeks and brought mercenaries. If this government today has that opportunity of chaos 1 or 2 weeks to election, they will allow it to continue so that they can write figures and announce themselves as winners. But Jonathan stopped that election, and he knew for sure that if there was a free and fair election, no incumbent government can get second term. He's an educated man with PhD. He knows that. But because of his humane nature, he postponed the election for 6 weeks, brought in mercenaries, and within 6 weeks, those mercenaries stabilized Nigeria, and there was no polling booth in Nigeria that elections did not take place. So, even from your enemy, in fact, you learn more from your enemy. If Jonathan has done that time, 2015, what stops this government from copying what Jonathan has done? After all, hiring mercenaries to deal with this insurgency and other pockets of banditry across the country costs less than 10% of what the military takes today. So economically, it is better to hire the mercenaries, give them contract, secure this area, we will pay you this, and you fold your arms. And it is done. The credit goes to you. So why can't Nigerian leaders be patriotic citizens of our country?
Well, many of them would argue that they're not being patriotic if they hire mercenaries. I mean, they'd feel that they're undermining the Nigerian security services.
Is it the pride of being...
I'm not speaking for them, I'm just saying.
Is it the pride of being in office or the finding a solution that protects the ordinary man that can go to his farm?
I think many people would agree with you, because that would have a positive knock-on effect on the economy of this country. Because people would be able to return to agriculture, get their jobs, have a sense of security. The key
then the tax reform in January can now get more net to capture a lot of people. Let me tell you, I just saw in the social media a journalist like you who talked to the ISWAP commander who killed Brigadier General Musa, who got him captured and killed him. And he told him that, as I sit where I am, I have the picture of Sambisa, the whole of it. Even if an ant is entering Sambisa, that they can see.
That's what the ISWAP person said.
Yes.
So they're using technology themselves, obviously.
So if a bandit or a Boko Haram fighter has access to those equipments, what stops Nigerian government?
That's a very good question.
And do you remember that some few months ago at Banki, near Cameroon border, they used drones. And in Marte, they use drones to kill our soldiers and officers. And nobody can tell me that because of collateral damage, the Boko Haram and the whatever, they don't stay with those that they captured. They live a life of their own elsewhere outside where those captured with their small people guarding them. And the security people know. Look, we have to be serious. We have to put pressure on these elements for them to surrender.
Now, you talked about bringing mercenaries into this country. I mean, you're quite comfortable and happy for that to happen. Would you be happy for President Trump to bring his troops into Nigeria and secure those areas?
Not for the purposes he's talking about.
So not
for religious purposes.
Right, but not
But to come and secure Nigeria.
Yeah, but if he's going to
vote for Trump 100 million times.
Well, but if he's going to kill, even if the pretext is for alleged Christian genocide, if he's targeting the same people who are killing Christians and Muslims, I mean, it's the same thing as almost bringing mercenaries, except you don't have to pay for them.
Let me separate that, Charles.
Right.
For example, let's, for purposes of argument, I'm a terrorist, and I'm talking to you, and I'm targeted. Would you escape?
How do you mean? I don't understand what you mean.
If they just
if they target you,
yes, target me.
Right.
Would you escape?
Probably not. So
the issue is that you know that I belong to the school of Simon Bakwe. You know his thoughts before he died?
No, what were his thoughts?
Oh, you didn't know?
Well, I wasn't inside his head, was I?
And you are from Southeast.
It doesn't matter where I'm from. I don't know what his thought. He had a lot of thoughts. Which ones are you talking about?
He has one which is very prominent.
Right. So which is
that he would wish the British will come and colonize Nigeria. At least we can have peace and we can have sanity. We re-establish a system. Now, your children and mine, what do they know as good? What is bad now is their new whatever, because they don't know anything good. So what are we breeding?
Do you think that the insecurity in northern Nigeria, President Trump's comments, for example, about insecurity in northern Nigeria and the targeting of Christians by Islamist insurgents could have served as an incentive for bandits to try and extort the Nigerian government for money, as the US is putting pressure on the Nigerian government?
You know, it is both sides of the coin. Trump himself, I don't believe that he's here to protect Christians or Muslims. That he wants to put pressure on the Nigerian government so that he could extract as much as possible, because he assumes that France and US are milking Nigeria dry. He's not talking for you or for me.
You mean France and China, or France and you said France and
France
US.
and China are milking Nigeria dry.
Right.
So he wanted to have
he wants to get a piece of the pie.
A cake. And he has done that. Look at what is happening. Put pressure on Saudi Arabia, put pressure on Kuwait, and get trillions of dollars. So the man is a businessman. He can change if they see him well, if they talk to him well. He can press Tinubu tomorrow.
So we've got about 1.5 minutes left, and I know you're going to start moaning in a minute. So I thought I'd just say that to you very quickly. Summarize for us where you think things are and where they ought to go now.
Sir, once more. What did you say?
Well, I said summarize for us, because I mean we're coming to the end of the conversation. Where you think things are and where they ought to go.
Things are bad now. But the president should be very careful in not mortgaging Nigeria because of Trump's threat. That one we would not accept. But of course, he has to sit up and look for people of knowledge and people who could look at him straight into the eye and tell him how things should be done, not a yes sir men who are after battering their own bread.
On that note, I want to thank you very much indeed.
Okuwasiadio egumu watu mwenu mo amandianeze